Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Azra Lilam Putra with the NPM of 24111-013, and I'm from English Literature major, Faculty of Literature and Education, University of Teknokrat, Indonesia. Today, I will present a material for an assignment on Introduction on General Linguistic course, taught by Mrs. Laila Ulsi Qodriani, MA. But today, I am not alone. My friend will help me present the material. Can you guess who it is?
Hello Azra and everyone, my name is Fahridan Yahya with the NPM of 24111-008 from English Literature major, Faculty of Literature and Education, and I will present the history of English language.
While I will present the language family in the world. Before we start, let me ask you these questions. How many languages can you speak? If you want to learn a new language, which language would you choose? Spanish, Italian, French, or perhaps German? But what if I tell you that they actually came from the same root of language? Don't believe me? Well, hear this out. Sometimes we like to separate languages into boxes and treat them as if they're separate things or different. Spanish is separate from Italian, Italian is separate from English, and so on. Languages have complex relationships with each other, and sometimes they even have a shared history. In that case, they may be members of the same language families. Wait, what is language family? A language family is a group of languages that all stem from a common ancestor. Languages in a family can sometimes be closely related to one another, that the speaker of one language can understand the speaker of another without going through the process of learning the second language. There are about 147 language families in the world, and in this video, I will explain 6 of the largest language family in the world. The first one is the Indo-European language family, which is a family of languages spoken in most of Europe, Iran, and the northern Indian subcontinent, with the greatest number of speakers for over 400 languages. That includes English, Spanish, and Portuguese. The Indo-European language family is divided into several branches or subfamilies, which are Indo-Iranian, including Indo-Aryan and Iranian, Germanic, Romance, Greek, Italic, Armenian, Celtic, Albanian, the extinct Tocharian languages, Baltic, and Slavic. They are descended from a single unrecorded language believed to have been spoken more than 5,000 years ago. The second one is the Sino-Tibetan language family, or also known as Trans-Himalayan. It boasts more than 400 languages and over 1 billion native speakers. Fortunately for us, we can break it into 4 slightly more bite-sized branches, which are Sinitic, includes Mandarin and other Chinese languages, Burmese, a branch of several languages spoken throughout Burma and southwestern China, Tibetic, which includes approximately 40 languages spoken mostly in Tibet, western China, Bhutan, Nepal, northern India, and eastern Pakistan. And lastly, Karen, a much smaller group of languages spoken in southern Burma and West Thailand. Recent studies suggest that the family originated in 5000 BCE in northern China. The third one is the Niger-Congo language family, which is a family of 14,000 languages in Africa. Niger-Congo languages are spoken by about 85% of the population of Africa, from Dakar, Senegal, in the west to Mombasa, Kenya, and in the east and south to Cape Town. As understood today, Niger-Congo has 9 branches, which are Mande, Kordofanian, Atlantic, formerly West Atlantic, Kru, Gur, Kwa, Ijoid, Adamawa Ubangi, formerly Adamawa Eastern, and Benue Congo. The languages with the largest number of speakers in this family are Swahili, Yoruba, Igbo, and Fula. The fourth one is the Afro-Asiatic language family, which is the language of common origin found in the northern part of Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, and some islands and adjacent areas in Western Asia. 5 of the branches from this family are Berber, primarily in Northwest Africa, Morocco, and Algeria; Chadic, which is spoken in West Central Africa, Chad, and Nigeria. Cushitic languages, which are spoken in East Africa, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Tanzania. Egyptian or Ancient Egyptian, and lastly, Semitic, the only branch not native to Africa. Experts tend to place this family in the Mesolithic period at about 15,000 to 10,000 BCE. The fifth one is the Austronesian language family, the family of languages spoken in most of the Indonesian archipelago. That includes all of the Philippines, Madagascar, and the island groups of the Central and South Pacific, except for Australia and much of New Guinea, much of Malaysia, and scattered areas of Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Taiwan. This family is divided into two branches, namely Malayo-Polynesian and Formosan. The languages included in this family are Malay, Javanese, Tagalog, and Malagasy. And last but not least, the Trans-New Guinea language family, which is an extensive family of Papuan languages spoken on the island of New Guinea and neighboring islands, a region corresponding to the country Papua New Guinea as well as parts of Indonesia. Although only spoken by around 4 million speakers, the Trans-New Guinean family is one of the most numerous languages in the world. There are 477 languages belonging to the Trans-New Guinean family. Today, only Melpa, Kuman, Enga, Huli, Western Dani, Makassay, and Ekari have more than 100,000 speakers. Let's move on to the next material.
Thanks, Azra. Now we've entered the second material, which is the history of English language. I believe in this generation we are all familiar with English, even as an English literature student, Azra, and I speak English a lot at campus. But unfortunately, not many people know the history of the language itself. Don't worry, that's why I'm here. English language has developed over more than 1,000 years, shaped by innovation, culture exchange, and global expansion. It can be divided into four main periods. Number 1, Old English period 450 to 1150 AD. First begin with the arrival of Anglo-Saxon tribes in Britain. Second, mostly Germanic vocabulary with some Norse influence from Viking invention. Third, highly inflated grammar with a complex structure. Fourth, example text, which mean our Father who art in heaven. Number 2, Middle English period 1150 to 1500 AD. The first after the Norman Question in 1066, English aborts many French words, especially in law, art, and governance. Second, grammar became simpler and vocabulary expanded. Third, example text, which mean when April with its sweet showers. Number 3, early modern English period 1500 to 1700 AD. The first influenced by the Renaissance, which introduced Latin and Greek words and the invention of the printing press. Second, work by Shakespeare and the King James Bible, as many verses still used today. Third, example text, to be or not to be, that is the question. Number 4, modern English period 1,702%. The first grammar and vocabulary become standard and English spread globally. Second, the industrial and scientific revolution introduced new technical words and global interaction continue to influence the language. Today, English is a global language evolving with new technologies and culture exchange. Its rich history is a blend of influence from many languages and periods, creating a unique and versatile language.
Alright, thank you, Ridan. Well, I believe that is all for our presentation on the language family in the world and the history of English language. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.